Start your day with CBS 6 This Morning.
Changes in gun laws are likely coming to Virginia. Just days before state officials meet, we head to the Richmond Gun Show to hear from gun owners and gun control activists about what's at stake. And the problem solvers have been working for you all year long, and we are not stopping now. A look back at a few people we've helped in 2019 and how they're doing. Plus, you ever been walking around the mall and think, I could use a drink? Why, that soon could be the reality for more Virginia shoppers.
Working for you. CBS 6 News at 11 starts now.
Thanks for staying up late with us. We hope you enjoyed a titanic AFC wildcard game. I'm Jake Burns. It was a wet night here in Richmond with some all-out downpours from time to time. CBS 6's Mike Goldberg joins us now with the first look at your forecast. Hey, Mike.
Hey there, Jake. Yeah, we had a lot of rain earlier, as you mentioned, and it is starting to taper off across the area. We still have some showers out there right now. Here's a look at the radar. A little band coming from Ashland out towards Quinton and up into King William, and a few more showers off to the southwest. Right in between here in the heart of the city in Chesterfield, a little bit of drizzle here and there, but this is the last batch of showers rotating on through the area, all part of a big storm that is passing by to our north. There's a little cool front coming swinging on through. The winds will be picking up. They already have out of the west and northwest, and that's going to tend to dry us out a bit. Overnight and certainly during the day tomorrow will lead to a lot of sunshine across the region. Temperature-wise, 46 degrees in town right now, 40s across the board except way up in Stanton where it is 39 degrees. And our temperatures are going to lower eventually into the 30s here in the metro overnight. Showers still around for another hour or two, and then they'll taper off basically from north to south or northwest to southeast. Skies will start to clear out towards daybreak. We should level off in the mid and upper 30s early in the morning. A lot of sunshine tomorrow morning with that gusty wind. Temperatures in the upper 40s at lunchtime. A west-northwesterly breeze 10 to 20 miles an hour. So a nice looking Sunday's on the way. I'll tell you how long the sun is going to stick around and what the temperatures are going to be doing during the coming week. We'll look at all that in just a few moments. Jake.
Thanks, Mike. We have some breaking news out of Chesterfield. Police say a man wearing a mask robbed the grocery store at gunpoint. Take a look. It happened just before 9 at the Aldi on Harper's Green Way. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Officers say the suspect walked in, held up the gun, which had a laser sight attached to it, and demanded money from the register. Investigators are searching for a white man in his 20s, about 6 feet tall. If you were in the area and you think you saw something suspicious, please call police. New at 11. Dozens of protesters gathered in Norfolk Saturday night in response to President Trump ordering a drone strike at the Baghdad airport that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. Several people brought signs, one saying humanity for peace and another saying no more war. The crowd embodied those younger and older who believed the military airstrike in Baghdad put American lives at risk. Tina Rocket with the Hampton Roads Green Party even handed out illuminated letters that spelled out the hashtag no war, no peace.
We need to be de-escalating and bringing troops home, so this is escalating a problem. If people don't speak up, there will be no message, so you have to start somewhere.
Protests like this reached cities far past Norfolk, including the nation's capital. Now, prior to those protests, thousands took to the streets in Baghdad and Tehran to mourn the death of Soleimani. President Trump warned Iran not to retaliate against the U.S. for his death, tweeting several times. Trump wrote that if Iran strikes American assets, the U.S. is already targeting at least 52 Iranian sites that are important to their culture. The tweets warned that those targets would be hit, quote, very fast and very hard. The president ordered that drone strike that killed Soleimani.
Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel.
The operation against Soleimani in Iraq was conducted, however, without specific authorization and any advance notification or consultation with Congress.
Additional reinforcement troops are preparing for deployment from the Army's 82nd Airborne Division. That's at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Richmond police have identified the man shot and killed at a motel Friday night. Officers responded to the 2600 block of Chamberlain Avenue, where they found 29-year-old William Hurt unresponsive. RPD says he died on the scene. No suspect information is available. If you know anything about this incident, call Crime Stoppers. And we have an update to a deadly shooting in Henrico's East End. Police confirmed the man shot and killed at a Highland Springs apartment complex is Rico Robinson. Officers found the 30-year-old near the front door of his Oakmead apartment around 9:30 Friday night. That's on Airport Place. Witnesses say they heard at least 6 shots. Robinson died on scene. Detectives are still looking into the events that led up to his death. Contact police if you have any details that may be able to help. Democrats are now in control of state government in Virginia, and as the Virginia General Assembly returns to Richmond next week, some are concerned about the proposals they have about guns. Our Matthew Foltz was at the Richmond Gun Show today, and he tells us why some say these new gun laws will actually make Virginia safer.
Well, many gun owners I spoke with today say they fear more crimes will happen with the proposed legislation this session. Meanwhile, others say that they believe more background checks is the key to lowering crime.
Looking good. Guys, Virginia Gun Trail.
Lines with gun lovers form at Richmond's Raceway Saturday afternoon.
This is a gun show that a lot of hunters enjoy, a lot of collectors enjoy this show.
Gun shows like this one, gun owners here say, are for hobbyists and those seeking personal protection.
You very rarely hear somebody get one from a gun show and killing somebody.
For gun lovers like 71-year-old Gary Powell.
I have my weapon for my safety and anybody else who's
Carrying a gun legally for protection on most days has become second nature, but he has growing concern about new legislation that could come in the General Assembly this session.
It's kind of scary, I guess you could say.
With Democrats taking complete legislative control of the state government, Governor Northam says he's focused on 8 policies to address gun violence in the state, including universal background checks and banning weapons with high-capacity magazines, suppressors, and bump stocks.
If he wants to, cut the assault weapons out like he did before, but let the ones that's got them keep them.
I think it's going to be a very interesting year.
Andrew Goddard agrees with Northam's focus. After his son survived the Virginia Tech shooting in 2007, he became an advocate for safer gun laws.
I'm advocating not for the removal of everybody's guns, but for keeping guns out of the wrong hands.
Goddard's biggest argument is better background checks.
I think any private transfer of a gun that's not to a direct family member should be subject to a background check.
Meanwhile, gun owners like Powell says they'll be keeping a close eye on Capitol Square this session.
feared for what is coming down the pike.
Now, so far, there's been dozens of proposed gun safety bills for this session. General Assembly will convene on Wednesday. Working for you tonight, I'm Matthew Foltz, CBS 6 News.
A hard day for friends and loved ones in South Richmond as they said their final goodbyes to a local father of 5. Kenneth Lawson was shot and killed inside a Shockoe Bottom bar early Christmas morning. You can see this line of people outside the New Deliverance Tabernacle in Manchester. Lawson is remembered as a loving man who kept everyone laughing. Police say he was shot inside the Wing Bar following an altercation with the suspected shooter. Detectives say they still need witnesses from that night to come forward and speak to police. Well, a Virginia hospital is taking big steps in caring for their employees. Centra and Optimum Health are increasing the minimum wage for their workers to $15 an hour in both Virginia and North Carolina. Nearly 6,000 Hampton Roads employees will benefit.
It's important for our team to be able to feel like they can take care of their families. And it's what we're asking them to do every day when they come to work here, is to take care of our families. And we want them to be able to do the same when they go home.
So the pay raises actually began back in 2017, but will be fully complete by 2022. Oh, imagine roaming the aisles of your favorite store while sipping on a wine or some beer. Well, a proposed law would allow more Virginians to do that. Right now, only 4 shopping centers in the state allow shoppers to buy a drink at a restaurant or bar and then walk around with it. Those places are at least 25 acres and can apply for a commercial lifestyle center license. This new bill would shrink that down to just 10 acres, letting smaller shopping centers apply too. The idea is to help businesses compete with online sellers by making shopping more of an experience. The General Assembly will consider the merits of this change when they convene next week. Well, the problem solvers have been working for you all year long, answering your calls to help. Some of you have been wronged by other people, companies, or fallen on hard times. Straight ahead, we're taking a look back at a few of the most memorable moments from 2019.
Coming up in sports, the NFL's second season begins with 2 great wild card games, and we got a crazy finish over at Barco-Stevens Hall. That and more when the Saturday Feel Good edition of CBS 6 News continues. But first, your Nissan Play of the Day. The Lakers-Pelicans game from last night, and Anthony Davis, my goodness, 44 points against his former team, including that show-stopping hammer in the Lakers' 123-113 win, and that is your Nissan Player of the Day.
My entire life.
He came